Okay, note to self, don't try to take apart your PS2 controller. Yeah, I've currently got a PS2 controller sitting on my table here, and it has all of the screws out of it, and when I tried putting it back together the first time, I ended up making the analog stick screw up royally. The reason I was taking it apart though was because this was the controller, as I mentioned in my Jak and Daxter LP, that does not have the L1 button working, and other things were starting to screw up on it too, but I was curious as to what broke on the L1 button. When I finally was able to get the screws off of the back of the controller, I noticed that the little button thingy like this that attaches to the bottom of L1, L2, R1, R2 was actually missing on the bottom of L1. I looked all inside the controller for it and it had disappeared. I don't know how it managed to escape the inside of the controller, considering that controller is quite tightly put together, but somehow it happened. And now, because of my curiosity as to what's inside the controller, it is now a moot point because the entire controller is now screwed. Luckily, this is the N64, so I will not have any problems with this controller as I go for Kangaskhan. Yes, with Kangaskhan you do have to zoom to the end of the level until you get the perfect picture, but you'll be happy to know that he's quite a bit easier than Chansey. So, the first time you ever go through the game, you don't have any items, which makes it impossible to get any sort of decent picture of Kangaskhan because his back is to you, giving you horrible pose points. Once you finally start getting items, however, then the possibilities open up with him. To get him to turn around, just throw an apple or pestiball at him and he'll come running. At first, he just throws a little temper tantrum because you're throwing stuff at him, but then he settles down and you can do what you need to do to get a perfect picture of him. But how do you do this, you ask? Well, I admit for the longest time I thought that a perfect picture of Kangaskhan was just 4,000 points, either by getting him just facing you like this or getting him when he's throwing his tantrum. Apparently I only thought that until I really started experimenting with the flute to get the best pictures in this game. So, you can get pictures of Kangaskhan either throwing a tantrum, just standing there in front of you, or getting hit again, but the way to get the best picture is to play the flute for him. The problem you might have with Kangaskhan, though, is how to hit him fast enough so that you can even get a perfect picture of him before you get too far away. Well, if it does seem like you're going to get too far away before you can get him to dance to your flute, just use your C button trick. That'll slow you down well enough that you can end up right beside him. And then you can play some music. Then he forgets all about why he was angry at you and starts grooving on the dance floor. Or the rock floor. So, just get a nice full-size picture of Kangaskhan busting a move, and you can very easily get a perfect 4,100 point picture like this. Yes, this is him actually dancing. Not the most difficult Pokemon in this game by any means, so it's almost like this video really isn't necessary. But hey, that's what I signed up for when I started this series, was to do every Pokemon in this game. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you when we go for Scyther!